Universidad del Gran Rosario, a tragedy in 51 acts. So, where do I begin, my darlings? Let me tell you the tragic ballad of the Universidad del Gran Rosario, a place where dreams go to wither like forgotten roses in a concrete garden. I arrived bright-eyed and hopeful, clutching my aspirations like fragile glass birds, but oh, how quickly they shattered. Act 1, the silence that screams for months. I sent my pleas into the void, emails, forms, desperate handwritten notes carried by the wind. Vainsa Driosi, a name now etched in the halls of unanswered sorrow, asked for written responses to her complaints. Months, not days, not weeks, months. And what did the university do? Nothing. Silence. The kind of silence that makes you question if you exist, if your voice matters, if they even care. This is not just bad customer service, this is institutional gaslighting. When a university ignores its students, it tells them they are worthless, it tells them their pain is irrelevant, and that, my loves, is cruelty dressed in academic robes. Act 2. The customer service black hole. Cecilia Aguirre wanted to pursue postgraduate studies, a noble quest, but the advisors at Universidad del Gran Rosario treated her like an inconvenience. Zero guidance, zero answers. Just the cold, echoing void of indifference. Imagine spending years of your life, your money, your sweat, only to be met with shrugs and blank stares. This is not just incompetency, it is theft. Theft of time, theft of potential. Theft of futures that could have been. Act 3, the matricular mystery. Belen Robles, sweet summer child, asked the simplest of questions. Why must I pay a fee upon enrollment? A fair question, but did the university answer? No. They left her floating in ignorance, as if basic transparency were a privilege, not a right. This is predatory behavior. If you cannot explain why you take money, you are not an educator or a pickpocket with a diploma. Act 4, the bait and switch scam. Andrea Campiani studied for 5 years. 5 years, only to be slapped with exorbitant fees just to take her final exams. 8,500 pesos, a sum that might as well be a mountain for students scraping by. This is not education, this is extortion. You lure them in with promises, milk them dry, then hold their degrees hostage. It is a racket, a con, a betrayal of every ideal academia claims to uphold. Act 5. The ghost of quality education. Antonella Fernandez traveled from Tierra del Fuego, ends of the earth, to study cosmetology. And what did she find? Professors who could not teach, corrections that were wrong, a system that silenced complaints. The program may look good on paper, but paper does not teach, paper does not inspire, paper does not care. Act 6, the distance dilemma. To Kordok Sung Ain, who longed to study occupational therapy but found it shackled to online only. I weep for you. Education should be accessible, not locked behind screens like some corporate webinar. Act 7, the broken promise. Adrian Vargas was told fees would increase, but how? When? Why? The university shrugged. No clarity, no loyalty, just a greedy hand reaching deeper into pockets. This is not just bad business, it is cowardice. If you raise prices, own it. Do not slink in shadows like a thief. Act 8. The final betrayal. And then there is 28,147 who laid bare the truth. Outdated facilities, overcrowded classrooms, professors who could not be bothered, bureaucracy designed to break spirits. A university is meant to be a beacon, but this is a graveyard of potential. Epilogue, the lesson they taught us. So here we are, my heartbroken comrades. The Universidad del Gran Rosario does not educate exploits. It does not inspire, it drains. It does not build futures, it auctions them off to the highest bidder. And the worst part, they get away with it. Every unanswered email, every unjust fee, every silenced complaint, not a brick in the wall of their indifference. But we see you, Universidad del
Gran Rosario, we see you.
I was looking into crimes near Universidad del Gran Rosario, you know, just walking around with my phone out, and this girl from Canada told me her story. She said the souvenir stalls right outside the campus gate are like shiny traps. They show you a little woven bracelet for $3, but when you hand over a 20, they swap it for a single and claim you only gave them a 1. She started crying, they laughed, she just walked away because what can you do in 2 weeks, right? I predict she still tells every taxi driver about it, and the vendor probably did the same trick 10 minutes later. Nothing happened to him, nobody cares. Then the juice bars, like the ones painted neon facing the university park, they are basically sugar ambushes. A guy from Germany ordered 1 detox smoothie. The girl at the counter asked if he wanted extra vitamins. He said sure, thinking it is free, and the card machine added $15. He argued. They pointed at tiny sign behind the blender. He paid because the bus to the airport was leaving. I bet he still checks every receipt twice now, and the owner probably bought new speakers that night with that bonus, still playing loud reggaeton. And the phone repair kiosks in the little mall under the cinema, they feel helpful, but they are like spiders. A Korean tourist cracked her screen, left the phone for 30 minutes, came back. They said water damage appeared inside, asked $80 more or no phone. She gave the money, caught her flight, cried in the seat. I predict she tells friends never to fix anything here, and the technician probably sold her original good screen to the next customer. Easy profit, no police. Even the student copy shop across the street from Universidad del Gran Rosario looks safe, right? They are like wolves with staplers. An Australian guy asked for 50 color pages, they printed them, then said color costs 5 times because the machine is special, held his USB hostage till he paid. He missed the walking tour, just stared at the cathedral wall after. I think he still feels stupid, and the clerk probably bragged about the gringo tax that night. Nobody punished him, business as usual.
Here's the as we explore the area surrounding Universidad del Gran Rosario. It's essential to set realistic expectations about the business's you'll encounter. Unfortunately, many of these establishments have a reputation for being subpar, and ill explain why. To start with, nightclubs near Universidad del Gran Rosario are notorious for their overpricing and poor service. Take Kamaiti Bar, for instance, where customers have reported being served wine from a box at an exorbitant price, with some even comparing it to drinking vinegar. The waiters have been described as unprofessional and, in some cases, racist towards tourists. It's not hard to see why this place has earned a reputation for being a tourist trap. Shops like Alto Rosario Shopping are another story altogether. The common complaint here is the lack of amenities, such as insufficient parking, especially for motorcycles and bicycles. The place looks beautiful, but it's marred by a sense of neglect, with abandoned areas like the Ferroviario Museum being a particular eyesore. Spas like Mantra Spa have also received their fair share of negative reviews. It seems that some customers have had to deal with poor attention, unhygienic conditions, and expired products. It's disheartening to see a place that could have been a haven for relaxation and rejuvenation fall so short. Then there are bookstores like Libreria El Candil, which have been criticized for their inflexible policies. Some customers have reported being told they need to buy a book just to look at its contents, while others have encountered unhelpful staff. It's a shame, because a bookstore should be a welcoming space for book lovers. What's striking about these businesses is the sense of complacency that pervades them. It's as if they're relying on their location to attract customers, rather than making an effort to provide quality services. As a result, travelers may find themselves feeling shortchanged and frustrated. So what can you do to avoid these pitfalls? Do your research, read reviews, and don't be afraid to ask questions. It's better to be prepared and know what to expect than to be caught off guard by subpar service. Remember, you deserve better, and it's up to you to demand it. As you navigate the area surrounding Universidad del Gran Rosario, keep your wits about you and don't settle for anything less than what you're paying for. With a little caution and preparation, you can still have a great time exploring this beautiful city.